Welcome. Good morning. Well, it is good morning in Montreal. Actually, it's good afternoon. It's 12:30. I'm not sure what time it is where you are, but maybe you can write where you're from in the chat. And that would be a good way to get us started. My name is Rosalia. I'm the manager at Career Advising and Transition Services, and we're hosting PowerSkills 2021. Today's the last day, and I don't tire of saying welcome to PowerSkills. You'll be in great hands today because your facilitator, who will introduce our wonderful guest speaker, your facilitator is Nayo Gariepi. And because the session is called You Have a Superpower, I'll let you know about 3 of Nayo's superpowers. 1, he's our knight in shining armor. If you need someone on your side who's going to jump in and help with whatever, whenever, Nayo's your person, always willing and ready to help all of us at CATS. The second is this enthusiasm, unbridled enthusiasm. You will see that today, and we see that all the time. Third, and it's one of my favorite characters in people, curiosity, always wanting to learn more about everything. And he does that on his own, and he just keeps building his knowledge, and that's just a wonderful thing. So Nayo and everyone, please enjoy the session. Over to you, Nayo.
Thanks for making me blush and for the great introduction. So this is fantastic, and I'm so happy to be here with you for the 3rd and final day of PowerSkills. As you may all know, also we have Reem here, who's hosting the session on superpowers, and you must have already seen her in the 1st edition of PowerSkills, where she hosted mentorship, a session about mentorship, and she did an amazing job while there was the explosion in Lebanon. And we also take a few seconds just to remember that time. And we are happy now to have her here in Montreal with us and help the community. So she's a brilliant and fantastic host. So let me also just tell you, she's a learning and development expert, an accredited life and executive coach, passionate about leadership, mentorship, and public speaking champion, an altruistic human by heart. So give her a nice and warm welcome.
Thank you very much, Nayo, for this welcome, and Rosalia. Hello, everyone, wherever you are connecting with us today, whether you are connecting from a morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm super excited to be here with you all. So before we get things started, I see a couple of people who have opened up already their cameras and they're interacting on the chat. I would just like to let you know that this is going to be an extremely interactive workshop. So it's not going to be me just writing out for the next 1 hour. It's going to be you talking up and learning throughout this process. So before we get things started, I would love to see you all open up your cameras if you feel comfortable and ready for that, and join in and hop in on us with us on this very interactive workshop. Welcome everyone from Montreal. I will be sharing with you live right now my screen. Please do give me a thumbs up if everyone can see it clearly. Wonderful. So let's get this party started, everyone. We're going to have a workshop today about your superpower. Who out of you believes that you have a superpower? Show of hands or raise a thumb if you believe you have a superpower. All right, don't be shy. I see you there. I see many people who believe that they have a superpower. Now, tell me, drop in the chat box, what is your superpower? What is it that you believe that you have that is so exceptional, you want to call it a superpower? Listening, motivator, all right. Positivity is a superpower, yes. Creativity, our brains. I see someone said our brains. Have you watched this workshop before? Patience, helping others, yes. Positive and energetic, these are all amazing, amazing superpowers. And let me tell you one thing today, is that each and every one of you have these superpowers within you. So we're going to start off, as I mentioned, this is going to be highly interactive, by answering a question. And this question is not going to be in the chat box. I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. Tell me, when was the last time you tried something for the first time? Now take a minute here, you have time to think. If you feel like you want to come up on screen, unmute yourself and share with us, you are going to have 2 minutes to speak up. Please let us know in the chat box. Anyone interested to share with us and come up on screen? Someone is unmuted.
I'll go ahead. It's Sandra. Last April was the last time I think I tried something, and that was making scones. During the pandemic, everybody said you had to learn something new, so I tried making scones, and now I'm still making them, and I'm delivering the calories to other people to share.
Wow, wonderful. And I hope that you keep doing them even after the pandemic and after the lockdown.
We'll see.
Please do let us know more about them. And if you have a link, share them in the chat box. We'd love to see them more in details. So thank you for that, Sandra. Anyone else would like to come up and share about something that they tried for the first time? You can feel free to unmute.
Yes, this is Natraj, and this morning I tried to brew my own coffee. It came out very well. Actually, this is one other thing which I was trying after coming to Canada, because I got a new filter which is having at least a 50 ml. We can put the coffee powder and we can brew it, and it came out very well. This is my first time, and I drawn the heart symbol in the coffee mug, so it came very well. Actually, I took a snap, so I'll happy to share it once I got. Perfect.
Please do, Nat.
Yeah.
You know, coffee is the thing that gets me going. I'm grabbing my cup of coffee right now with you guys. So I'm super proud of the fact that you were able to brew them in your house. Let us know more about it as well. Thank you so much for sharing. We're gonna have one more person. Anyone would like to just unmute yourself and go for it?
I would like to. Can I go ahead?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I think it's Ayesha. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, this winter, I tried. There's a place at Montreal Park where you can go and slide on the snow with this tube thing. I tried that for the first time, and it was amazing.
I'm so ready to try it very soon after the lockdown is done.
You should. It's amazing. I mean, it makes you feel like you're letting go of and like fall freely. So it's like a interesting and amazing experience.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing, Ayesha. And I'm super excited to try it as well. Thank you. Let's give a big round of applause for the 3 people that came up with big courage to share how, when, what they tried for the first time. You know, it's funny enough that you're sharing with me today about the things that you've tried for the first time, but I can tell you every single day, you can try something new and you can unveil new superpowers in your brain. And that's what we're going to work in this workshop today. We're going to get easy access on invaluable learning techniques that will help you change your lives. Now, by show of hands, who out of you has been recently facing difficulty with developing a new skill or habit? Just show of hands. It's been tough. Yeah, I get you. It's the same for me as well. What about enhancing or sharpening an old skill? Maybe something that you've had before, but you haven't been really working on recently. You haven't been really developing or enhancing. Show of hands here. Yeah, I see you more on the old habits and the old skills. Now tell me, how does it feel when you are not being able to learn? What are the emotions that come out of it? What do you feel when you are not being able to learn a new skill or a new habit? Drop in the chat box. What are your emotions from this? Frustrating. Yes, I feel you guys. It's frustrating. It's depressing. Sometimes I just feel lazy, to be honest. Yes, anxious. So all of these emotions that are rising up, whenever you are not being able to learn a new skill, will put a barrier for you. And that's what we will unveil today. Now, I have a very funny question for you. Tell me, when was the last time you checked your phone today? Or maybe you're checking it right now as I'm speaking to you. How many times do you check your phone per day? Do you have any idea? Did you know that based on studies, we check our phones on average for 5.5 hours? And about 158 times you pick this little device during your day. Now that you use your phone over and over during the day, what are you using it for? Are you using it for developing your skills and habits, as we're going to learn today? Or you're using it to drain down this energy that you have in your brain? If you come to think about it, maybe out of this 5.5 hours, you are spending, let's say, best case scenario, half of this time learning something new. Watching these inspirational videos, motivation, podcasts, YouTube, you name it. Tell me, out of everything that you're looking at your phone today, what do you remember from? When was the last time that you saw a motivational video that clicked into your mind and you remembered it? And how easy is it for you to remember things? So all of these questions will allow us today to understand that there are super techniques in your mind that will help you unleash the super brain that you have. Now, who is ready with me to unveil all of these techniques? Yes, I see that you're all excited on this. Now, I want you to think of a very specific thing you want to change in your life today. Just one thing. Maybe it's a habit that you want to change. Maybe it's something that you've always wanted to do. Maybe it's a skill that you've always wanted to learn. What are the tools and techniques that you can use? It could be something that you heard about, but have you really applied it? The first technique we're going to talk about today, and the first superpower that you have, is learning how to learn a new habit. So we're going to focus on the first one now. The second one is learn how to learn to deal with procrastination. Trust me, I am your girl when it comes down to procrastination. And believe me how hard it was for me to start dealing with that procrastination. When it comes to techniques, this is going to be your goal. And finally, learn how to learn a new skills. So these are going to be your 3 main superpowers that we're going to talk about today. And these will be the techniques that we'll be discussing here. So grab your pen and paper, your notepad, whatever it is that you can go ahead and use, because you will be taking on some very good tools and techniques that you can use in your daily life. Abraham Lincoln once said, people are just as happy as they make up their minds to be. Now take a second and think about it. Did you know that you can learn to be happy? I never knew that, honestly, but recently I discovered that you can also teach yourself to be happy. You can decide in your mind at this very moment to make a shift and to be more powerful with your brain. You can learn to be less anxious, less frustrated. And the first technique that's going to help us with this is learning how to learn a new habit. Now let's talk a bit science-based. We're going to talk about neuroplasticity here. Has anyone heard about neuroplasticity before? Show of hands. Anyone heard of neuroplasticity or the terminology of neuroplasticity? I see a few. Would someone like to come up and share what do they define neuroplasticity? What is your definition of neuroplasticity? I see you.
It's the idea that your brain is malleable. Oh.
Yes.
It's the idea that your brain is malleable and you can reprogram it.
It is exactly. And do you have any idea how you can do that?
New neurons.
True.
Yeah, we can restructure our thoughts and how we perceive things.
Yes, you can. You've got that right. You know, neuroplasticity is the terminology that is used to describe your brain's ability to reorganize itself through your environment, your behavior, your thinking, and emotions. So today we're going to use a study that was done by psychiatrist Dr. Norman Deutsch about neuroplasticity and how it works. Usually, it was thought that a child, once they have reached to a certain age, which is 7 years, they have reached the limit of their brains. And after that, yes, someone came in. Would you like to say something? No? Okay. So at the age of 7, you might reach to a level where you're not going to be able to change your brain. But that is not true. 75% of the way that you are going to age is actually in your control. So your brain is going to change based on your own actions, your own behavior. Now let's imagine this, all right? Imagine this with me. You have your brain. This is a picture of your brain right here. Not very, is it clear? Yes, it is. So when you look at the brain, we have something called neurons or pathways. You see these blue lines within this? These blue lines would represent the pathways that happen throughout your brain. Now, whenever you do a certain action, let's pretend that you are doing an action that is meditation. Whenever you do a certain action, the more that you do it, the thicker this pathway is, and hence the stronger it will be. The less you will do it, the weaker it will be. So the idea of neuroplasticity is enhancing these pathways in your mind in order for you to take more control of these habits. Now ask yourself, are you operating at this moment on autopilot? So when you wake up in the morning and you have your day going on, is it really you that is deciding each and every move? Or is it these pathways that have been built over and over in your minds that have been taking control? Now you might ask me, Reem, how do I actually take control? Like, how do I stop this autopilot thing? Lucky for you that we actually have tools that you can use in order for you to work on enhancing the pathways in your mind and build new habits. Are you all with me? Perfect. Wow. So we're going to start with 4 main techniques and tools that you can use that are really recommended that will help you learn how to build a new habit, no matter what the habit is. You want to wake up early, you want to get to the gym, you want to eat healthy, you want to change your lifestyle. It could be something in your professional, in your career, in your personal life, even in your relationships. You have to be proactive with creating these pathways. We're going to start with the first one. Start with clarity. What do we mean? You know, a lot of times I've told myself over and over again, you are not enough. So the more I say this to myself, the more I'm going to believe it. The more I say, Reem, you have a weakness, you have a weakness. And I keep saying it, the thicker this line that I told you about is going to be in your mind. So the first technique is to do, very simply, a SWOT analysis for yourself. Who out of you has done a SWOT analysis for yourself? Personal SWOT analysis. I know we do it for businesses. I know that we do it for our work. But tell me about your personal SWOT analysis. Have you ever done one before for yourself? Yes, I see some few faces who have done that. And when you do a SWOT analysis for yourself, you will have more clarity on what are your strengths and your weaknesses, which is the internal work, which is the internal thing that you have. And what are the opportunities and threats that are external? Now, what does this have to do with habits? If I know that my strength is consistency, for example, then I can use this strength to build on my habits. When I know that my weakness is always feeling reluctant, then I will understand that this is something that's going to be a barrier for me. Any questions on this so far? We're good? All right. We're going to move forward and then we're going to put this into an exercise. The second one is going to be set your growth goals. Now imagine, all right, I know what is my strength, my weakness, my opportunities, and my threats. Now, what is the growth goals? What do I want to really grow in my mind? What is the habits that I want to build? So you have to ask yourself these questions. Where are you now, where you are, and where do you want to be in these 4 main categories? And you can see them here in the box. Community, growth, giving back, and health. If you ask yourself, where do I stand today in my community? And by community, we mean friends, family, your surroundings. Where do I stand today? And where do I want to be? If today my relationship with my parents is a rating of 4/10, and I want it to be a 10/10. So now I know what is the goal that I want to reach in the growth pattern in my life. Now I know what is it that I want to achieve. Let's say in growth, you want to develop and you want to grow in your career. You'll ask yourself, where do I stand today and where do I want to reach? Now, after you set your growth goals, the next tool is going to take micro steps. If you want to change something in your pathways, it's not going to happen overnight. You know the saying of you can build a habit in 21 days. So don't go saying that tonight I'm going to wake up next day, I have everything under control and my habits are there. You know, I'm going to hit the gym at 7 a.m. in the morning, which is something I've never done before, but I'm going to do it because overnight it happens. It doesn't. You have to start with micro steps. Start with 10 minutes today of walking, and then tomorrow with 15, and then the other with 20. And you will reach after 21 days being able to walk, just walk nonstop for an hour. Now that's a big achievement there. That's a new habit. So with this tool, you don't really have to pressure yourself into getting immediate action. Because you know what? We live in a generation today that is quick fix, quick fix, quick fix. Give me something that I can get it right now. With habits, with our brains, this is not really how it works. So this is the third tool. Now the last one, I know you've heard about this a lot, but it actually is very crucial. Practice mindfulness. Tell me, who out of you is someone who has a habit of mindfulness throughout their day? Or you usually do this on a daily basis? I see some good hands. Who out of you has never tried mindfulness before? Never tried mindfulness before or never heard about it? All right, I see you. We're going to do something now. Before we head forward, we're going to put into action these tips and tools that we just learned. So I need you to trust me on this because I'm going to take you on a small journey. We're going to do a small mindfulness exercise to get your mind and your brain ready for learning, for changing the habits. So I need you to trust me on this. I need you to close your eyes only if you're ready and only if you can. Now, once you have closed your eyes, try to take a very deep breath through your nose and then exhale it through your mouth with a sigh. And do this 3 times at your own pace. Think of one simple goal that you have recently wanted to reach. A habit that you wanted to change. Visualize it if you can. Now imagine yourself doing the habit. Now try to think, what is stopping you from this? What are the barriers? What are your weaknesses and your threats? Let's look at the other side. What will help you reach it? What are your strengths and your opportunities? Gently take another deep breath in from your nose and exhale the barriers, the weaknesses, and your threats. With a sigh. Now very gently open your eyes. Your mind is clear and you are ready to start making a change. It's not enough to do the mindfulness, but what's more important is to put it in action. So right now, grab a piece of pen and paper if you have around, or on your laptops or mobiles, and write down your SWOT analysis, your strength, your weaknesses, your opportunities and threats. I'll give you an example of my own SWOT analysis. Recently, I've been trying to break my habits of anxiety. I keep on thinking and overthinking, and most of the nights I have very sleepless nights, to be honest. So I thought to myself, what is it that the weakness that is pushing me behind? And the weakness that I had was the fact that I couldn't let go. I couldn't let go of the past. I couldn't let go of the future. But the strength that I had was that I was adaptable. That was my strength. I'm an adaptable person. And when I understood that I have this strength, even though I have this weakness, I can still overcome this habit. Now I made my own SWOT analysis and I discovered the threats that I have. We are in the middle of a pandemic, everyone. That is one big threat that we are all under right now. But one of the opportunities was that I'm actually safe at my home and I have a community that surrounds me and supports me. And that made me understand that I can overcome the habit of anxiety for me. So go ahead, I'll give you 1 minute. Take some time to do your own SWOT analysis. What is a habit that you want to rewire these pathways in your brain with 21 days to break them? I'll give you a moment of silence. Go ahead for it. All right. So now, share with me on the chat box. What do you think of the first superpower that we just unveiled? Your brain superpower to overcome any obstacle or habits. Let me know your opinions on this. How you can create a growth mindset, how you can create your own neuroplasticity of the brains. I see some direct messages and I can see that people are, yes, practice. That's very good. You need to practice this over and over again to change your habits. And this is something that you hear very often, but you think to yourself, why am I not doing it? You're not doing it because you put yourself the barriers that we just spoke about. Trial and error is a very good step, by the way. I believe big time in trial and error because a lot of times there's nothing that you're going to lose. It's either a lesson or a win. I'm going to move forward with our second superpower. The second superpower or technique that we're going to learn today is how to deal with procrastination. So I'm going to change a bit the energy here because we're quite a bit relaxed after the first technique that we just did. And we're going to do a very famous energizer before we dive into this of dealing with procrastination. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. And I need you all just to do the same exercise with me. This is something we usually do in trainings, is to take a deep breath in with your hands below like this and then up. Just to get the blood flowing a bit. Bring us back on track. Love this. Amazing. 2 more times. Bring it out. You can do it front if you feel like it. You can do it sides if you feel like it. Wherever you can, just bring that energy back. All right, you feel it? Shake it. So now let's move on to the second technique, which is dealing with procrastination. You know, procrastination is something that I've dealt with a lot of times. And many of the clients that I've worked with recently have been telling me that they've been having difficulty when it comes down to procrastination. I even had someone that I was working in on a one-on-one coaching session, and she mentioned to me that she was doing her PhD and she couldn't finish it for 2 years after deadline. Now I come to think about that, and she had a lot on her plate, working a full-time job, dealing with her family and relationships, and also wanting to finish her PhD. And I asked her, why did you start in the first place? What was the reason that you started with your PhD? And that was the moment that she remembered why she started. You know, procrastination sometimes comes from us just forgetting, why did we start in the first place with this? And we start pushing it and delaying it. So the first step for procrastination in the technique is remember. Remember why you started, and not just why, but hold yourself accountable. So have someone remind you. You know, there is a reason why we say the power of mentorship, and Neo got bored of me always saying power of mentorship is so important, but it's so important to have someone that will hold you accountable. Could be a coach, it could be a counselor, it could be just anyone, it could be a friend. You would choose who that person is. Dealing with procrastination doesn't happen alone. We need someone with us to help us overcome it. We need someone to remind us of our why. And that is the first technique. Just find a human being that will remind you of this, to hold you accountable and to hold yourself accountable. We're going to move on to the next one. It's called rest. Anyone heard of the Pomodoro technique? Yes. Yes, I can see some people who have. We're going to talk a bit about the Pomodoro technique. It was invented by Francisco Cirillo in the early 1980s. Now, the Pomodoro technique is quite very simple. It gives you access to give a rest for your brain before you go into full focus. So it is known that most anyone focuses for 25 minutes nonstop. Just like now in the workshop, if you've noticed, I didn't go ranting for 25 minutes nonstop. I gave you guys small breaks. So you need to give yourself some breaks whenever you want to accomplish something. And the idea of the Pomodoro, or this technique, is that you would take 25 focused work, 25 minutes, and then you would take a break. Just for a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and then go back to work for 25 minutes. This could work for anything. It could work for something that has to do with your own professional work, your career, or even if you want to try to learn something new. Let's say you want to learn a new instrument. How many of you play an instrument here? Any kind of instrument, any kind of music? Yes, Raymond, I see you raise your hand, the first one. Love it. Can you tell me a bit more? What do you play? You're on mute, but I'm going to guess what you play. You're still on mute, but yes, we can hear you.
I apologize. Yes, I'm learning to play the guitar, and I started a few weeks ago. And I play every day.
Wonderful. You are the perfect example for us here. Big round of applause for you. Now tell me, for how long do you play nonstop?
Half an hour.
Half an hour, more or less. And then after that, you feel like, okay, I need a break.
I have decided that I do things in small segments. And basically I'm trying muscle memory. That's my objective. I understand that the subconscious mind is more powerful than our conscious mind. So I let my fingers do their own thing. Yeah. And a half an hour a day, because we have a very complete day, and that's my objective.
Yes, yes, love this. Excellent. High five to you, Raymond. This is exactly the perfect idea of the Pomodoro technique itself. You have put it into implementation without even knowing.
Right.
For half an hour, 25 minutes if possible, full focus on the work, and then give yourself a break. In that way, you will achieve much more of completing your habit or making the change than going for a full day, let's say, or a couple of hours back to back. not allowing the brain to partake in all of the memory, as Raymond has mentioned. Now, I want to share with you one thing before we move on to the third one. There's actually applications on your phone that you can download right now that are totally free that could help you with the Pomodoro technique. I personally use this app. It's called Be Focused app. I have it on my phone. And it just gives me a reminder that I'm working for 25 minutes. And then at 25 minutes, it'll give me an alarm. Reem, get up, take a break, move. Sometimes I totally forget. I would be just sitting there, fully focused, and then I forget to give my brain a break. So I would highly recommend to you all, if you wish to try the Pomodoro technique that we were dealing with for procrastination, you can use this. Alexa gives you a timer. Yes, I see someone mentioned that. You can use visual timers. Yes, anything that will help you keep track. You know, because one problem with procrastination is that we sometimes lose sense of time. You feel like, oh no, I don't have much time. I don't have enough time today. You know what? The day just passed and I don't know how it passed. When you take control of the timing that you're actually focused in, then you actually have the same 24/7 as me and you and everyone. So try this technique and let me know. Yes, there is a brain focus app as well, very similar to this one. Let me move forward to the third tool that we're going to talk about in procrastination here, and it's repeat. Yes, I know our school teachers used to tell us this all the time. Repeat your lessons, repeat until you memorize, repeat, repeat. But you know what? Practice makes permanent. So if you want something to be permanent for you, you just need to practice for it. If you want this new habit to stay with you, you just need to practice more. If you want to break procrastination itself, it's a habit. So if you want to break that habit, you just need to keep practicing. If I today procrastinated, you know what? I didn't prepare for this, let's say, session, but I did. And I kept pushing for it and pushing for it until the last day. If I do this every single time that I have a workshop, guess what? I wouldn't have things to mention in my workshop. So the more I practice on preparing, the habit of preparing, the more permanent it became. I want to hear you up here. What is it that you feel will help you when you practice it more? What will change? What habit can you change when you just practice a bit more on it? Oh yeah, I love this. Fitbit reminds you to walk. That's very cool, actually. Cooking, yes. Yes, I've never heard of a chef that made it right from the first time. No, myself, I've burned all of my cooking recipes from the very first time. Sports, athletes say that the one thing that made them actually athletic was how much they have practiced. Learning a new language, you see, there's a lot of skills. Public speaking, yes. Yes, indeed. Someone said in another session that motivation comes from action and not the way around. You know, that's very true, Rosalia, because once we start getting in motion, then the motivation will come. So I'm going to jump forward now to the third superpower here, because we have to jump in as well. And then we'll move on as well to the Q&A at the end. I've asked you already, but I want to know more. What tools do you use to overcome procrastination personally? Do you have like a certain app that you can recommend to everyone with us here tonight? Do you have a certain technique or a tool? Please do share. This is a community that we're building here and we want to learn more about you. The Pomodoro is one technique, but there are many others. I use more procrastination. That's very true, Rosalia, because once you start, it kind of becomes like a snowball effect. Procrastination just keeps building up. You need to stop the chain. Just decide today, I will not procrastinate. And then tomorrow, I'm not going to do it again. I use a timer and I tell myself, just start. You know, if you've ever heard of, what's her name? Totally slipped my mind. There's someone that uses the 5-second rule, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm going to get it going. So you can use that as well. It's something that would be very helpful. I engage myself with a deadline. Yes, hold yourself accountable. And the 5-second rule, someone mentioned it. Yes, her name is Robin, I think. I just remembered it. Music is very powerful. We're going to talk about that in a few as well. All right. I think we need just a jump start so that we can get to the third technique right now here. So we're going to do quite a small stretch. Are you with me here? Let's just do a small stretch up. We're jumping to the third technique here, maybe sideways. All right, stretch those arms. We've been sitting for a while now. Whew. Ready to start on the third power? Yes. Okay. Now, the third technique that we're going to talk about today is to focus on learning a new skill fast. You know, now we want things to be fast, and this is also based on Jim Quick. If you've ever heard of him, I would highly recommend you guys to listen to his podcast. He talked about unveiling your super brain, or learning something in a very fast way. The guy goes on learning 1,000 names just in 2 minutes. He would learn the names of everyone here. I've been trying to do that, but I've got up to 10 names, so I still need some time for it. So this is actually the technique that he applies in order for him to learn faster. And once we want to work on this, it's just the word fast. And he focuses on the 4 abbreviations: F, forget; A, active; S, state; and T, teach. And we're going to talk about each and every one of those. Now, imagine the mind is like a parachute. It only works well when it is open. You don't really want to trust a parachute that is closed. So the most ultimate thing that you can get out of your brain is when you have an open mind. And the way for you to get an open mind is actually to forget. You need to clear out some space for you to learn a new skill. So here we talk about 3 things that you need to forget. Forget what you already know about the subject or whatever it is that you want to learn. You know that saying, I know that I don't know? And the more that I know, the more that I know that I don't know. There's a lot of no's in this statement. So you need to forget what you already know, because this will put a limitation for you. Your ego is going to come up and say, you know what, Sandra, why do you need to learn this today? You already know about this. Forget about it. But once you start forgetting what you already know, then you will have an open mind like the parachute that we spoke about. The second thing would be forget anything that's not urgent and important. Trust me, guys, you cannot multitask. Neuroscientists said that the brain cannot work on several things at the same time. What you're doing is you're flipping from one neuron to the other simultaneously. That's what's happening here. So if you really want to learn a new skill, like our friend here, Raymond's learning the guitar, you actually have to sit and forget about anything else. Shut the world out and just focus on that moment of learning your guitar. The third one is forget your limitations. Whatever it is that you're telling yourself you cannot do, just let it go. I cannot do this. I don't know how to do this. No one ever taught me. All of this talk and self-negative talk that you've ever said, forget about it. This is the first step of the main skill. The second one is active. You know, someone mentioned before that from motion, you can actually learn faster. That's one thing that's very true. But what we mean here by active is not just motion, it's meaning actively learning. I see you there, some people, you have a pen and paper. You're writing some notes from today's workshop. I see some people are preparing some questions. They're engaging in the chat box. This is active learning. You know, the traditional schooling system has taught us, be a passive learner. Sit down on your chair, take whatever information I'm going to give you, and go put it in the exams. But that's not the ultimate way to unleash your super brain. And so the second point focuses on you being active when you want to learn. I'll take the same example with you, Raymond. When you're starting to learn on your guitar, you ask around. Oh, hey, you've played a guitar before. Can you tell me a bit more about it? You watch a YouTube tutorial. You take some notes. You start reading more. So when you're actively learning, not just receiving information, that's the one way you will learn faster. I'm going to take a break here from this and talk a bit about the effect of this very fast track social media information that we have today. You know, you are bombarded 24/7 with a lot of information on your phone all the time. If you consume this information passively, you're not really learning. But if you are interacting, if you are active with whatever information you are taking, only then I can tell you, my friend, that you are actually learning. So remember that next time you're scrolling down your screen. We'll go to the third one, state. In the state, as you noticed today, I mentioned to you, let's stand up, let's stretch out. We're changing our state. So when you change your state, you change your posture, you change your body, even change your breathing, as we did in the beginning, you are more prone to learn faster. You're putting your mind in the right state, and that's why it's called state of mind. If you do not prepare your brains for it, then no matter what you're trying to learn, trust me, your brain is going to shut it off. Nope, not ready, not right now, I'm not in the mood. So you need to put your brain in the right state, and that's the third technique. Think about what you will benefit from the information you're taking. Okay, I've been hearing Reem talking for the past, I don't know how long, and what is this doing for me? But if you put yourself in the state of a learner, of curiosity, I'm so curious to know right now this information, how can I apply it in my life? You know what? I'm thinking about so many things right now that I can go and apply. When you're in that state, you're learning faster. You're grabbing information faster. And then change will happen faster in your life. We're going to move forward to the last one. Teach. When you teach something, you get to learn it twice. We've heard about that before. When I come and I learn something as if I'm going to teach it. So you know what? You come and you tell me, Reem, watch this workshop today, and tomorrow you're going to give me some feedback about it, or you will give me a training about it. Oh, I would be all over the place. I would be writing notes. I would be taking some ideas. I would be researching, because I know I'm going to teach it. I have a responsibility to move this information or knowledge. So if you want to learn something faster, you want to acquire a new skill, you want to acquire a new habit, you have to do it as if you want to teach it. Because only then you will be more responsible for yourself. There's a saying that you take care of others more than you take care of yourself. I myself am a person that is guilty of that. I would take care of my family first. Oh, I want to make sure that they are healthy, that they are good, that they are happy. And it's the same that goes when it comes to skills of learning. I want to make sure that they know this. And once you have this mindset, again, with the state of mind, you will learn faster. So this is it. Let's go back to it. Let's think about it fast. We are learning a superpower of how to learn a new skill. You can apply this anywhere. Forget what you already know. Forget your limitations. Forget that you can multitask, because you can't. Focus on one thing. Be an active learner. Be in a good state of mind, or change your state so that you can be ready for learning. And then finally, be in the idea that you're going to teach this. And once you are ready to teach this, you will automatically learn it twice. And this is our third superpower, ladies and gentlemen. I want to focus a bit more with this superpower, just a bit more. Muhammad Ali, Jim Carrey, and even Oprah Winfrey all agree on the power of affirmations. It's the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. These people who actually made a big impact in their lives and in other people's lives used to practice one technique when it comes down to learning fast, and that is affirmations. Who out of you practices affirmations during the day? Affirmations is just you stating out what you can do. I can do this. I am this. It usually starts with an I and then a verb. So we're going to do an activity today. I think Neo is ready with us for the breakout rooms. We will be split into 2 breakout rooms. These 2 breakout rooms will be 2 teams. The first team is going to be focusing on technical skills. I'll brief you quickly what are technical skills. Technical skills, for example, are if I want to learn to play the guitar, it's a technical skill. If I want to enhance the way that I do a certain thing at work. The other team is going to be soft skills. Soft skills, which includes communication, leadership, interpersonal, anything that has to do with dealing with others is under soft skills. Now, your challenge is to come up with affirmations that will help you reach those skills. Raymond, you are my man here. My affirmation is, I can learn the guitar. I've never played the guitar before. I have no idea how to do it, but I am telling myself right now that I can play the guitar. This is a kind of an affirmation. It could be anything. It could be that I have the skill to play the guitar. All right? Are we ready to go into breakout rooms, Neo? Do we have it?
Whenever you're ready.
Everyone, if you feel like participating, you will be split out into 2 randomly selected rooms. If you do not feel like participating into this activity, you can simply listen and learn from what others are going to say. You will have 5 minutes in total. You need to come up with 10 affirmations. Anything, family, relationships, career, health, whatever it is that you want to affirm for your brain today. And once you come back, you can feel free to choose a speaker or 2 from every group to speak up and share with us what your affirmations are. Are you all ready? Give me a thumbs up. I see you there. All right, I think we can go.
Fantastic job, Reem, so far. Going amazing. Love the session.
I feel like we're a bit over time.
Yeah, it's okay. We can go a little bit over time. Can you lower a little bit the sound? Someone wrote to say that they had trouble hearing when the music is on, but it's oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
You can put it a little higher. It's okay. It was.
I feel like
I really enjoyed.
We're a bit over time, so but we after the breakout room we need almost 10 minutes. So we will be at 10 minutes over time. Is that okay?
I think we can make it happen. I have Stanzi Bowbell coming up after, so we'll still have 5 minutes to jump in the other session.
Okay.
You're muted.
Rosalia, you're saying something, can't you?
Oh, sorry, I was in room 2 and they just want to confirm 2 is soft skills, right?
2 soft skills.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no number. Any soft skills they want. Any number.
Okay. Yeah, we just wanted to make sure we were soft skills.
Okay.
Oh,
So
guys,
then I'll
can you send me
stand.
back to room 2?
Yeah. Oh, you can click at the bottom of your screen. I think you can go back, join.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt. Thank you, guys.
No problem. Do you want me to write a message to the people in the breakout room, Reem?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. So what do I write?
Can we send separate, one for room 1, one for room 2?
It's both room, but I can write message for room 1.
No, just
Like,
to know which one is soft and which one is technical.
So room 1 will be soft skills, and the second one will be, Rosalie is in room 2, so technical for the first one.
I see some names that are still with us in the room. You guys don't want to go and join in on everyone? I see some few names with us here. Go ahead and join them in the breakout room. It will be fun. All right.
Yes, no problem. Some people must be multitasking. Okay, great. So broadcast message to all. So room 1 is technical skills. I just write technical skills, or is there something you want to add to this?
Just to let them know, they need to come up with 10 affirmations.
Okay. Great. Fantastic.
I'm sorry we took more time, but we engaged a bit more in the.
It's okay, really. I love the flow, the energy of the people in the room. No, it's perfect, and it's okay. We always go a little bit over time, and I think it. Yeah, when it's fun like this, we don't want to stop.
Yeah. Even if you have to go, can I stay with them for the Q&A?
Yeah, I think so. How can I do that? Because I will be opening up the next session, you'll have until 1:45.
Okay, all right, we can do it. Yeah.
So yeah, all good. If you want, I'll just let the room there, and I'll leave and do a few things.
Okay. If you want, tell them like you have 1 more minute so we can get them a bit.
Okay. Okay, 1 minute left. I'm back.
They might need another minute. Is that okay?
Yeah, exactly. 1 minute before the final minute.
Okay.
I never say it, so people have a little bit more time.
Yeah, so we can have the time as well for the ending.
Fantastic. And
they can hear the music? No, right? It's just us. Okay.
No, just here. Yeah, whatever happens in the break room, yeah, is different. But I like the music. I think that's a really nice addition, especially starting it. So thanks for the idea. I love that.
I cannot do a workshop without music. It's like my
should have started with your
nice
session.
Start. And you can see everybody was, you know, getting energized from it. And
and it lets us also start the recording while people are all in, a little bit of music. I loved it.
All right. I think we can bring them back.
Yeah, great. So closing room. Now they have a minute, but normally people trickle in slowly. Unless they're having a really good time. It's funny when you don't see the numbers going up, people want to stay.
Come on, people, I need you here.
Yeah. Okay, well, one person came back, thanks.
All right, we see them, they're coming back.
Okay, 16 is coming back. I'll let you do your.
I feel like they want to abuse every last second.
Yeah, it's okay, and it's the final day. Like I want to just stretch the day and never end. Unfortunately, there's 24 hours only.
Welcome back, everyone. There was too many people. Yeah, to be productive. Yeah, I feel you, Sally. Sometimes, because we're quite a big group, but we're a bit short on time. So next time, yeah. I feel you guys. If I can do this workshop in more time, Neo, please help me out here. Give me some time.
We'll give you as much as we can. I think you can go up till like 1:40 and a few minutes after until I jump to the next session.
Okay, let's make this quick. Now, I know that some people were asking which room was which. I was assuming that when Neo sent you out, he would send this out. But we have the room that was talking about the affirmations for your technical skills, and then the other room for your soft skills. So I'm going to hear one person from each, if that is okay. Did you guys choose someone, or someone would like to volunteer? Go ahead with any of the rooms. I don't mind. You can go ahead and start. Just write in the chat box. Yeah, Sandra, you would like to start?
No, actually, I was volunteering Natarajan because he was our note taker.
Oh,
maybe you can go with our first technical skill, which was the driving.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Sandra. So here we are the technical group, technical skills group. Our first technique is driving skill. So the affirmations are, I will get my license in 3 months' time. I will hire the professionals. I will practice for more time. So these are the affirmations for the driving skills.
Yes, wonderful. Can we give him a big round of applause for Nat? Yes, Nat, this is it. These are the affirmations that you need. Do you have another skill? I feel like you have another skill you want to go for.
Yeah, the next skill is cope up with your lifestyles.
Nice.
So eat healthy is the first affirmations, and
Yes.
try to get into the walking habits and more biking. So these are the affirmations.
So how do you say it? Like, tell me I, and then say the affirmation.
Yes, I will try to make eating habits 3 times in a day.
Okay.
I will bike in the uphill regions. I will learn more recipes in a quick time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very well done. Excellent for the team of technical skills. Giving you a big round of applause here and high five to you, Nat. Thank you so much for that. Can we jump into the soft skills team or the room that was doing the soft skills? Who would like to speak up? Yes. You can unmute yourself, I believe.
Okay, I guess I'll do it. So, okay, the first skill that we chose was communication, and I'll be able to lead teams.
Okay.
Okay, another one was problem solving. I am an amazing or a quick problem solver.
Yes.
Okay. What else? Okay, time management. I'm phenomenal at time management. Adaptability. I am adaptive. I can do it. I wanted to ask whether practicing gratitude was a soft skill. Someone asked that.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to count my blessings.
I can also add.
Yes, please. There were more.
Yes. So I am capable of controlling my anger. I can voice out my opinion. I am a great negotiator.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Beautiful. Well done. Both ladies, I'm giving you these, well, big round of applause. High five to both of you. Amazing. These are the kinds of affirmations that we need. I have it. I believe it. I can. I am. All of these are exactly what you need to say to yourself when you want to rewire and take control of your brain. I'm going to share with you quickly some affirmations that are very generic that you can use. You can take a screenshot of it right now, and you can use for any skill that you want to learn, any habit that you want to change, or simply overcoming procrastination. So my thoughts are under control. All of my thoughts are positive and empowering. You see how powerful that statement is. I am full of empowering thoughts from the moment I wake up. So these are some examples. Like number 9 for me is my favorite. My potential to succeed is infinite. Can you imagine that? It's infinite. Your mind is limitless. Have you guys ever heard about the idea that our brain is the most complex thing on this earth and in the universe? The entire universe is less complex than what I'm holding right now up on my head. And when you affirm yourself of these powers that you have, these superpowers that we spoke about today, then you can achieve anything. All right, I think we are quite a bit on time here. Wrapping this up, everyone. Loved your energy today. We learned 3 superpowers that are crucial for us to be able to learn how to learn a new habit. Anyone can drop in. What was the technique in that? What was the technique that we used, the first one? We spoke about it. It was something, yes, practice. But there was a name about these neurons in your brain.
Neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity,
yes.
Neuroplasticity, well done. And then the second one, we spoke about learn how to deal with procrastination and what are the things that you can do. There were the 3 R's.
Remember, rest, repeat.
Remember, reset, repeat.
Repeat, yes. And you can use the Pomodoro technique that I spoke about, but there are millions of other techniques. But this one personally really had a big effect on the way that I work with things. And then finally, we learned how to learn a new skill fast. And
Fast.
this was the one that we spoke about, which was forget,
active, state,
and
teach.
You guys are amazing. High five to you all. Very well done. So this wraps up the 3 superpowers that you can unveil into your brains. And from these superpowers, you can achieve anything. All right? So now we're just going to wrap this very quickly into saying that, remember when I told you, find someone, get someone with you, get someone on this journey with you. So today, I really push anyone that attended this workshop to look for an accountability partner. Whoever you were able to connect with today, this is a big networking community we have here, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone you spoke with in the breakout room, someone that wrote a comment that was interesting for you, that you found that person can be your accountability partner, go ahead, reach out to them, save their names, add them on LinkedIn, whatever it is that you want to do, find yourself an accountability partner. Imagine if one person can unleash your super brain, what if you do it with someone? And only then we will break barriers. So this wraps up our presentation for today. Neo, we are ready for the feedback form. We're going to be sending out in the chat box a feedback form for you guys to fill out. This feedback form is just about this session. How did you find it? How was everything up for you? Fill out the feedback form and let me know your feedback. We're going to open up Q&A session right now. So feel free to stay in for a couple of minutes if you want to ask me any questions on this topic. And now you guys are ready to go and unleash your superpowers. You feel free to unmute yourself and ask me whatever you would like. Thank you everyone for your comments. Go ahead, Q&A, tell me. Thank you. I'm seeing the amazing comments here. What questions do you have about the techniques, the tools?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What motivated you to start learning about these things?
Wow, that is a very good question. Thank you for asking. I'll tell you my story. My story started out with a trauma. Not long ago, I had a trauma that I had a back injury where I got a spinal fracture. I had to be bedridden for 6 weeks. Doctor said I couldn't move my feet. I was sitting there thinking to myself, what's going to happen next? And from that moment, I knew personally that I will come out of this and I'm going to spread the word about the power that I had in my brains, and I want to share it with everyone. And so for these 6 weeks, trust me, when you are sitting on that bed, you and yourself thinking, am I going to stand up again or not? Because of my injury, you don't have a choice but to bring out that brain power. And so I don't want you guys to go through the same thing that I went through. And that is why I try to push everyone to learn and unveil their superpower. So thank you so much for that question. I didn't mention that story about me before, but that was how it started with me. It started with this injury that pushed me to go forward. Thank you. I hope it answered your question.
Very inspiring. Thank you. Yes, it did.
Thank you very much. So any other questions about today? You can feel free, by the way, I saw that they sent out the LinkedIn. You can feel free to chat with me on LinkedIn for any sessions, any other workshops, and also on Instagram, where I always put out some information on these tools and techniques. So you can go ahead and reach out to me at any time. Okay, there's a question. What was your first step? Are you saying about the first step that I stood up? Or like the first step of change? Because for me, the first step was just when I actually stood up. That was for me just standing up. First step of change, honestly, I will be very honest. The first thing that I did was I started working on my anxiety. So the very first step of change that happened for me was telling myself that I will not feel sorry for myself. I will not feel worried about the future. I will not feel worried about the past. That was the very first step of change that I did. Just telling myself these small affirmations. That was it. I'm loving those questions. They're quite personal, but I love them. I really feel her positive energy even by being virtual. Thank you. Great vibes. Thank you very much for these encouraging words and these encouraging comments, everyone. I'm really here to serve, and that's my purpose. Someone has their hands up. Do we have some more time? Neo, we're good?
We can go a little minute. Max.
Okay, we have one question that I feel is important. Who was your accountability person? I had a mentor. That mentor was actually someone that was with me at work. I looked up to him. He was someone that was a leader at my work. And I came up to him once and I was like, you know what? Teach me your skills. Teach me what you do. I want to learn everything. And I was like this little girl with a notepad and a pen. And every time he does something like, oh, he looked at him in that way. Oh, he spoke in that way. And I was a total nerd about it, but that was the first accountability person. And I would go and tell him, today I'm going to talk to my colleague. Please tell me, how did I do? You know, and then I would have him look at me, speak with my colleague, give me feedback about how did I do and what I said and how did I improve. So that was my very first accountability partner. I think I freaked him out by then, but he really helped me out. He was my good mentor. Thank you everyone for joining in. We are good on the time. Thank you, Neo and Rosalia. I think this is it. If you guys have any questions, you can drop them on my LinkedIn or my Instagram at any time. I'm always available and I'm always ready. I'm gonna put some music here so that everyone can leave with a positive energy as you entered. What do you say?
Thank you, Reem, so much. Thank you.
Thanks, you were amazing. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
The recording is stopping now.